Hi, I'm Casey Cuevas. This is my project content creator for Legal Environment of Business, Module 1, The Foundations of Business and Law. Let's start with some business law insights I've learned so far. Firstly, tort law is a concept I've heard of before but never fully grasped. In essence, tort law deals with civil wrongs and provides remedies for individuals harmed by the actions or negligence of others. It encompasses situations where a person or organization's conduct causes injury or harm to another outside of contractual obligations. For an example, if someone is injured due to another person's negligence, such as a car accident or a slip and fall, tort law allows the injured party to seek compensation for damages. This compensation might cover medical expenses, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Essentially, tort law aims to provide relief to those wronged and to hold responsible parties accountable for their actions. Another insight I've gained is the court system structure. I've learned that it is organized into tiers, each serving a specific role. At the base are trial courts, where cases are initially heard and facts are determined. Above them, appellate courts review these decisions to ensure correct applications of the law without re examining the facts. At the top are Supreme Courts, which address significant cases and set important precedents. The hierarchical system not only manages case volume, but also provides checks and balances, enhancing fairness and consistency in the legal process. There are many legal myths out there. I've picked two to discuss today. The first one being that you can copyright your work by mailing it. Many business owners mistakenly believe that mailing their work to themselves is a valid way to secure copyright protection, as the United States Postal Service stamps might seem to serve as proof of the date. However, this method is not legally sufficient for copyright protection. For proper copyright registration, it is essential to consult with your business law or intellectual property attorney. The second legal myth I want to mention is common law is a fixed static set of rules applied uniformly across all cases. Common law is a dynamic system developed through judicial precedents. Judges make decisions based on previous rulings, and these decisions can evolve as society values and circumstances change. This means that common law adapts over time, reflecting new interpretations and changing norms. For instance, if a court encounters a novel issue that hasn't been addressed before, it will rely on principles from past cases and may set new precedents that future cases will follow. This evolutionary nature allows the law to be more responsive to change in society compared to the rigid statutory law. The importance of business law in organizations. Overall, business law provides a foundation for ethical and lawful business practices, contributing to an organization's stability, reputation, and long term success. Over the next 3 slides, we will talk about why business law is important to organizations. Firstly, it is important for legal compliance. Business law ensures that organizations comply with a myriad of regulations and statutes, helping them avoid legal penalties and maintaining operational legitimacy. This includes adhering to employment laws, environmental regulations, and corporate governance standards. Another reason why it's important is risk management. By understanding and applying business law, organizations can better manage risk associated with contracts, intellectual property, and liability issues. This proactive approach helps prevent disputes and minimize potential legal challenges. The next two bullet points I have for why business law is important to organizations is protecting assets and corporate structure and governance. Business law plays a key role in protecting organizational assets, including intellectual property, trade secrets, and proprietary information. Effective legal strategies safeguard these assets from infringement and theft. Also, understanding business law aids in the proper structure of the organization and compliance with governance practices. This includes setting up the appropriate legal entity, managing shareholder relationships, and ensuring transparency. The last two bullet points I have on why business law is important to organization is contractual clarity. Business law provides a framework for drafting and enforcing contracts, ensuring that agreements between parties are clear, enforceable, and equitable. This helps in preventing misunderstandings and legal disputes. The last one is dispute resolution. In the event of conflicts or legal issues, business law offers mechanisms for resolving disputes, whether through litigation, mediation, or arbitration. This can help organizations resolve issues efficiently and protect their interests. Two common approaches to legal thinking. The first common approach to legal thinking I will talk about is legal positivism. Legal positivism emphasizes that the validity of law is determined by its source rather than its moral content. According to this approach, a law is valid if it is enacted by an authorized authority and follows the established procedures regardless of its ethical implications. This perspective relies on the clear, formal aspect of law and focuses on what the law is rather than what it ought to be. The second common approach to legal thinking we'll be talking about is legal realism. Now, legal realism is almost opposite to legal positivism in that it argues that the law is not just a set of abstract rules, but is influenced by social, economical, and political factors. Legal realists believe that the application of law is affected by the context in which it applies and that judicial decisions are influenced by the personal beliefs and experiences of judges. This approach focuses on how laws are actually implied in practice rather than the theoretical content. The real world example of the legal change process that I'd like to talk about is the legalization of same sex marriage in the United States. It is one of the most significant legal changes in recent U.S. history, and the process culminated with the landmark Supreme Court decision in Obergefell versus Hodges on June 26, 2015, which ruled that same sex marriage is a constitutional right under the 14th Amendment's guarantees of equal protection and due process. Now, the next slide will talk about the factors that influence the change. So the factors that influence the change allowing same sex marriages in the United States was activism, public opinion, state level legalization, key court cases, presidential support, and congressional actions. So, activism, the LGBTQ plus rights movement, led by groups like Human Rights Campaign and the ACLU, was crucial in mobilizing support and pushing for legal changes. Now, public opinion, increasing public support for the same-sex marriage, as shown in polls, reflected and influenced broader societal acceptance. The state level legalization, prior state level legalizations of same sex marriage started with Massachusetts in 2004, created a legal and social precedent for national legislation. Key court cases, the Supreme Court decision like Lawrence versus Texas in 2003 established legal precedent that paved the way for the Obergefell ruling. Presidential support, presidents such as Barack Obama, who publicly supported same sex marriage, significantly influenced public opinion and political climate. Congressional action. The repeal of DOMA in 2013 was a pivotal step toward the broader acceptance and eventually legalization of the same sex marriage. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new.